Welcome to another video on Java 8. This is a series of videos which we are producing for Java 8 API features. So this is my third video. If you haven't looked on to my other videos, please have a look at it. Please check out my videos playlist. If you happen to attending interviews for Java, one of the most frequently asked and one of the most looked out for by the interviewer to understand his capacity or knowledge on Java 8, whether he has worked on it. So we'll try to judge by asking you a couple of questions with respect to the coding based on Java 8 features. So we'll try to, that is definitely a question which comes up, they will ask you about to understand whether you know these concepts very well or not. So this is one of the this is one of the questions which has been frequently asked by most of the interviews in any out of 10, like 9 of them will be definitely be asking about this. So let's get started. So the problem statement is sorting. You'll be provided an input with an array of a list of decimals. So you'll be provided with the decimal numbers. They'll give you some numbers which will have in decimal numbers, and then they will ask you to convert it to the or print it the highest to the lowest, or they may ask you to print from the lowest to the highest. Anything which will be either highest to lowest or lowest to highest. So they will ask you to write a code. They wanted to understand whether you already know aware of this particular concept, how to achieve that with Java 8 features. So if you see here, I've written this particular code. If you see, this is list of decimals. So this is the input, and then from this I have first converted it to a string. Then from that particular string, as you know, once you convert the string, we have a lot of utility methods. We have a lot of intermediates and terminal operations which we can perform. One is out of that is sorted. So we can sort based on the natural sorting order, or we can based on using the help of comparator. We can use the methods which we can reverse that particular order. We can sort it with based on the result, and then once it is sorted, we will be printing those particular numbers. So this will help us to sort this based on the reverse. So it will be sorting from not from the ascending order, it will be sorting from the descending order, which is the highest to the lowest. So if you see, once I will be printing this particular statement, you see I will run this particular program to show you what will be the output. So if you see here, 352 is the highest, .78 will be the highest one, and if you see 17.13 is the lowest. So this way we can achieve, we can make use of this. Let's say they ask us about to sort it with an ascending order, let's say from lowest to the highest. So what we can do is that I've also made an adjustment over here, so I can just simply run this method without passing the reverse over here. So without using the comparator, I just simply sort it over here. So if I run this, you will see all those particular number will be printed from the lowest to the highest. You see, right? Let's say they wanted you to print it in a let's say these are the numbers, right? I wanted to print it in the, let's say I wanted to append a comma as it is, right? Once it is sorted, I wanted, or once it is not sorted from the highest to lowest or lowest to the highest, they want us to print it with the comma separated things. What we can do is that we can make use of map function, and as well as we can comment this out, and we can make use of this. So what we'll do is that it will convert the normal to the string over here to from the double to string over here. So it will convert here. So once it is converting from the double to a string, we can perform. We can collect. There is an collectors class has provided one, where we can provide join. So we can actually add in after each element we can perform the join. So it will append the comma to it. So once we do that, we can actually print that particular thing. So I've written the code over here. So you see here, once I do that, I will be able to run this. So it will be printed in the, if you see here. Otherwise, if you have to perform this particular with a normal thing, you have to write a for loop and then you have to check like, there is already an element or not, and then we can append that particular with a string, right? So this has made the utility, making use of this particular utility method as solve few lines of code, which is easily achievable. Hope this example is clear and you are able to understand. Let's look out for the another problem statement, which is another question which normally interviewer always ask about. So they wanted to, from the list they will give you an list of integer numbers, digits, right? So they wanted to find out what is the highest number out of this particular list. What is the, or they may ask you like, find the element which is the lowest in this particular list. So what you can do is that I've written both codes to make you understand. First, let's look out at the maximum things, right? So from that particular list, whatever I have, right, I have converted it to a string. So this is the first basic step which we need to perform. Then there is already a intermediate operation which is being provided by the Java 8 feature. So there is a max method. So if you check out this particular, it will written as an optional. So it will be internally using the comparator over here again. So here if you see we are passing the natural order. So what means natural order is that it will be converting from the lowest to the highest, and then it will check for the maximum. After that, once it is done, it will check for the maximum, right? So it will check that what is the maximum out of that particular list, and then it will have an option. So optional is one of the feature of Java 8 where we'll be able to deal with the null pointer exception. We can also check if that is present or not. If present or not, there are a lot of utility methods provided in the optional as well. So it helps us to write a readable code. Here you will see once you get that particular maximum element, we can get that. So there is to get that particular element from the option, we use get method. So if you see, once it, I have actually assigned a value over here. So I will be printing it over here. So similarly, if you want to print the minimum number, right? Instead of this particular max, I've just made use of minimum. Same using the natural order, and then I will be getting that. So let's go ahead and run this particular program. If you see from this particular list, this is the highest number which has been printed up here, and this is the lowest. This is the lowest number, which is 2. I think you understand the program and I've explained you well. Thank you for watching.